Hi, everybody. Welcome back to that Eurovision site. We haven't had a video for a month, I'd say a month, just because, things have been quiet in the Eurovision front. But today we actually got a very, very big news. On our last video, we were talking about UK potentially hosting 2023. And today we actually got the announcement that the UK will indeed host 2023. So I'm joined by Helen and Jazzy to just talk about this. So today, the EBU has announced that BBC will assume all the hosting duties for the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest. They have also mentioned that Ukraine, because they've won, they'll automatically qualify for the grand final along with the big five. The bidding for the host city will start this week and should end by the autumn, and UABBC PBC will work with the BBC to develop the Ukrainian elements of the shows, and obviously the slogan and everything along with it will, revealed later. So let's just go to you ladies. What did you think about the news that we received this morning?
I spent a little bit of time thinking, oh, will it happen? Will it not? Because there has been some political stuff going on in the UK last few weeks. So I was starting to think, oh, maybe they'll just give it to another country. But obviously now I'm very, very, very happy that we will be hosting. I think my thoughts are best summed up in I think it's an Instagram post that Sam Ryder posted that they said we are like facilitating for Ukraine. This is going to be a Ukrainian Eurovision. We're just helping them put the show together, and I think Sam Ryder could say my thoughts on all of this better than I could. So if you want to just check out his Instagram posts, I would say, and yeah.
Yeah. I'm thrilled. I just obviously this is not the ideal set of circumstances for the reason why we are hosting. I know we all, hope that this conflict will be over soon and have the correct outcome. But in the meantime, I think, again, yeah, Sam said it best. We are here to help the Ukrainian broadcaster and the Ukrainian people put on a show that they can be proud of. I think UK Euro fans are just thrilled about hosting. I was at work and I could not have a very loud reaction, but I did want to just squeal in my seat. But on the whole, I think people who have doubted, anything, I think people need to realize that the reason that we're hosting is because that Sam did so well. And I think that's a credit to him as well. I don't know. It's been interesting to see people be very excited and also others really not get it and understand why. And truly at this point, if our results and what's happening now hasn't converted anyone, I don't really think there's much we can do on that front. But yeah, I'm so excited.
For me, I think it's definitely going to happen like it is now. Like it's on paper that the EB has mentioned it. It was a matter of when they can give the green light, because after we recorded the first video where they talked about, Ukraine being unable to host, there were backwards and forwards between EVU, UAPBC, and even like other view broadcasters saying go again, talk again. But it's nice to see that there's some positive reaction, because kind of like myself, like, UK hasn't hosted since the 1990s, but also at the same time, we're aware and understanding of the fact that we're here to help out Ukraine. We're here to facilitate the shows. And the fact that UAPBC is working the BBC and ensuring that the Ukrainian elements are still within the show, and the EBU have kept on their promise that, Kalush will be, honored, and their win is honored in the show. So I obviously cannot wait to see that. Obviously, the bidding is now about to commence this week. There's a few cities who have expressed publicly that they would want to bid. So we've got Aberdeen, Belfast, Birmingham, Brighton, Bristol, Cardiff, Glasgow, Leeds, Liverpool, London, Manchester, Newcastle, Sheffield, Sunderland, Wolverhampton. So that's a bit of a list. And it's refreshing to see like all the mayors and councillors are just saying like, no, yeah, well, we're bidding. And my Twitter feed is just saying like flooding of like mayors and councillors and MPs like, yeah, we're bidding, yeah, we're bidding, yeah, we're bidding, yeah, we're bidding. But in any case, obviously there is that, with everyone saying they're interested in bidding, obviously they have to meet a set of requirements. With the current favorite being Glasgow and Manchester being at the forefront. So, and I think this is what me and Jazzy has discussed with Isabel. So, Helen, what do you think of like the current cities who have expressed their interest, and who do you think would be the favorite that would obviously host the next year's competition?
Yeah, I think from the beginning, Manchester and Glasgow were kind of the clear front runners. I don't think anybody was really gunning for a contest in London, even if they do have the infrastructure to really do 3 Eurovisions at one time if they wanted to. But I just feel like this is an opportunity to showcase other parts of the UK. We can go to the north for once. Selfishly, I live in Leeds. I would be really cool to have it in Leeds, purely because that arena is great. And also, it means I could save on a hotel, but that's just me. I would honestly, I think Manchester would be probably the most logical choice if we were to do it in England. I think the BBC has moved their Eurovision headquarters there. They certainly have the infrastructure to do it. They have the arena. They have a really great public transport system. And let's be honest, the public transport is probably the thing that would let Leeds down probably in a bid. But I think there's a sentiment to possibly host it outside of England. So I think I would love to go to Glasgow. It'd be a form of life imitating art, imitating life. To have it at the Hydro. But I also think, if possible, it would be cool to have it in Wales, in Cardiff. And I think that would be a good excuse to have a song in Welsh, possibly. So there's definitely a lot of options. I like that we're getting a bunch of cities that, let's be honest, probably don't have a huge shot, but kind of like a lot of the cities in Italy last year that bid, like this is their chance to really get on the map and show people what they're about. So even if they don't host, it's a good opportunity to really promote your city. And I'm so pleased to see so many mayors and councillors on board to do it.
Jazzy, for you, obviously we've talked about this before and you've actually expressed your preference. Has anything changed since we last talked about this? Because obviously we've had a bit more time to think and obviously have more facts and have a more detailed thought into it.
I would still preference Manchester just because for convenience. I think that's convenience for myself rather than convenience for I just think I don't want it in London. Like, that is my one thing. And I feel like Manchester, I feel like it's quite like it's easier to get to than Glasgow. And I do think it'll be one of the two. I just think unless you actually live in Scotland, I don't know. Yeah, I still preference Manchester. very much so.
For me, it boils down to three really. Like Glasgow would still be my main choice just because looking at the venue layout, it works out well in terms of producing the show, pinpointing where things are, and obviously setting up the venue in terms of like, okay, here goes the press center, here goes where the artists can get ready. You know, they've also got the infrastructure. Manchester, I can see them hosting it. The only slight issue is the only arena, AO Arena, it's a good venue. The only problem is it sits on top of a train station. So, meaning in terms of layout of how would you do a Eurovision in this arena when the arena is laid out like this? You know, arena, train station, and then where are you going to put the press center? Where are you going to put the like the area where, you know, artists and delegations can get ready? London, obviously, just because main city, it ticks all the boxes. The only thing is, I think there isn't a venue that could accommodate them for 6 weeks. If they can, then things might have to move. If it's the O2, Måneskin might have to reschedule their concerts because I think that's the one thing that's hindering it. They're performing in May, and I think that was like the one show that was stopping it. But someone correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so it's either of those three I'd be pretty satisfied with. In terms of you know, allowing the BBC to host the competition, it actually did take some time, didn't it? So it took a bit of, there's a lot of disagreements, especially between UAPBC, because they really wanted to host it. But unfortunately, you know, the time is ticking and this event is very complex and it takes a lot of time to produce. So when they actually made the announcement, like a few key people have actually had a statement. So let's start with, of course, our executive supervisor, Mr. Martin Oostedel. The BBC has taken on hosting duties for other winning countries on 4 previous occasions. Continuing this tradition of solidarity, we know that next year's contest will showcase the creativity and skill of one of Europe's most experienced public broadcasters, whilst ensuring this year's winners, Ukraine, are celebrated and represented throughout the event. So, you know, he's already mentioning about how the BBC are good in, you know, with live production. So, I mean, if you don't watch Strictly, then, you know, what more proof do you want? Or like Red Nose Day. With that as well, you know, UAPBC has actually went ahead and, you know, said something as well. Mikola Chernotitsky of the managing board of UAPBC have actually said, the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest will not be in Ukraine, but in support of Ukraine. We are grateful to our partners BBC for showing solidarity with us. I am confident that together we will be able to add a Ukrainian spirit to this event and once again unite the whole of Europe around our common values of peace, support, celebrating diversity and talent. Oh, I really like that he went and mentioned about celebrating diversity. Gosh, kind of missing 2017 now. And finally, you know, they also said that, you know, hosting city search would begin this week and would end up in autumn. So Tim Davie, which is the Director General for the BBC, have mentioned, it is a matter of great regret that our colleagues and friends in Ukraine are not able to host the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest. Being asked to host the largest and most complex music competition in the world is a great privilege. The BBC is committed to making the event a true reflection of Ukrainian culture, alongside showcasing the diversity of British music and creativity. The BBC will now begin the process to find a host city to partner with us on delivering one of the most exciting events to come to the UK in 2023. Because obviously, they've hosted on 8 occasions. I mean, most times of it in London in 1960, 1963, 1968, 1977, and then in Edinburgh in 1972, Brighton in 1974, Harrogate in 1982, and Birmingham in 1998. But, oh wow, that is such a thing. Okay, so talking about, that we were saying about, about Sam Ryder's post, it's Ukraine's party. We're just letting them host it on our backyard. So now that it's on paper, what would you expect to see from Eurovision 2023?
I'm expecting a Sam Ryder Kalush Orchestra collab. I think we all that's on our wish list anyways. But I think it would be such a great way to kind of combine the cultures. I don't think that the BBC will go for something that's like completely devoid of any sort of like UK culture, but I think it'd be good to see like a nice mix of the two. I want to see at least half of the hosting team that they choose be Ukrainian. I think that'd be such a fun dynamic. I do not want James Corden anywhere near this. Yeah, I'm hopeful that this will be, I mean, honestly, you know what, just a celebration of hope. Just really, I think, there's a lot of not great things happening, especially in Ukraine at the moment. I think this would be a real opportunity for the world to really come together in support of them. And I think I'm so pleased to hear like everybody from the EBU, from the BBC, from the Ukrainian broadcaster really emphasize that this is going to be a collaborative effort and a celebration. I hope that they find a way to involve the Ukrainian diaspora as well in the UK. I think that would be really special.
I think I echo everything Helen said. I do definitely want at least half the hosting team to be Ukrainian, if not all of them. I do think there will be some British incorporation within like the hosting, because obviously it is being hosted on our soil. Although I wouldn't be mad if they didn't have that. But I can't see the BBC agreeing to like not be like, oh, hey, we're having nothing to do with it. We're just giving them a venue. I don't see the BBC agreeing to that. But I wouldn't be mad if that is what happened. And I feel like it's just like, I feel this contest will have a sense of togetherness and that Europe are together with Ukraine. And I think that's what's needed right now. And just a sense of hope that hopefully by the time Eurovision comes around, the situation is better in Ukraine. I think that's what we all like are hoping for. And obviously it's hard to like host the contest in Ukraine when it takes so long to plan. Yeah, and yeah, things may be a bit better by the time Eurovision rolls around, and it could even be a sense of celebration.
Yeah, I agree with everyone. We're at a crossroads at the minute. Something that would unite the whole of Europe, and the fact that everyone's collaborating, because I don't think this has happened before in the history of the contest. So it would be nice to see two broadcasters working for a big production. And I do hope that there is a bit of Ukraine element throughout the production to make it a fair balance. Ukraine won, so there's a bit of element in there. UK's hosting, bit of British element. So mixing the two, I am pretty sure that the BBC will be able to pull this off the way they normally would when they've hosted it. They've managed to execute it flawlessly with no issues. So I'm hoping that, it's the first time we're hosting a contest in the 21st century. So that this will be very different. And the fact that it's been such a long time, I'm very, very curious in seeing how the BBC would host a Eurovision in 21st century. And we obviously can't wait because it is within our borders, but obviously we can't wait for everyone to come here and, meet everyone, just because of the fact that, we're usually the ones flying over. So now they're the ones coming over to us. And I'm obviously excited for that.
This is something that I would say fast forward 12 months ago, I would have put my money on it that the UK would never host Eurovision in my lifetime. After we came last twice in a row. And now it's happening. It feels so surreal.
Oh my God. I can't even. I texted my mom and my American friends and family, they understand that this is the thing that I really love. But I wanted to cry because I've wanted to go to one of these for so long, and year after year there's always been something that's kind of that's been in the way, and just to be able to be I could actually be there, and to a lot of us on the team, we work remotely, we don't get to see each other in person that often, and there's plenty of other people in the fan press that we're very good friends with, and it's just an opportunity to enjoy this, but also to be able to just see your friends and get together. And I'm so excited for that opportunity.
Oh, okay then. And then I think we'll leave it at that. It's just a nice feeling that it's on paper. We finally have some clarity, and we're now going to push forward, and the UK will be hosting the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest. And that takes us to the end of this video. And I just want to thank Helen and Jazzy for joining me and discussing about the big news that has come up today. And, since we now know where we're going, kind of, hopefully we'll have more videos for you where we talk about Eurovision news. Obviously on the podcast as well, me, Rosie, and Lewis have just talked about our experience attending the contest this year. So do check that out on your favorite streaming platforms. But before I go, don't forget to follow us at That Eurosite on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give this video a like, a thumbs up, and push the notification bell to be one of the first people to find out when we have a new video. But in any case, we'll see you on the next one. So bye, guys.
Bye.